I welcome all of you to Jubilee House, the seat of our nation's presidency, where we have inducted into office today a new Chief Justice of the Republic, who is now the head of the judiciary, the third arm of government, responsible above all for maintaining the integrity of our constitutional order. This is the third time as president that I have the honor of discharging the constitutional obligation of administering the oath of office to a Chief Justice. On Wednesday, 24th of May 2023, Chief Justice Kwasi Anin Yeboah, the 14th occupant of the office in the nation's independent history, went into a much-deserved retirement on his 70th birthday, as mandated by the Constitution. As I indicated at the farewell dinner held on 19th May in his honor by the Ghana Bar Association, Chief Justice Anin Yeboah has had an outstanding legal career, which saw it rise to its greatest heights in his latter years. His tenure of office as Chief Justice saw arguably the largest infrastructural development undertaken in the history of the judiciary. A Court of Appeal complex in Kumasi, residential facilities for Court of Appeal judges in Kumasi, 6 new high courts in the 6 new regions, 120 courts, and 150 duty post bungalows. This is the hallmark of his era as Chief Justice, as was his strong defense of judicial independence in and out of court. He implemented policies to help entrench the rule of law and thereby reinforce the confidence of the Ghanaian people and shored up our nation's reputation as a country governed by the rule of law. We owe him a deep debt of gratitude. Let me also convey my appreciation to Justice Jones Duche and Justice Paul Bafo Boni for holding the fort, even if briefly, as acting Chief Justices during the period of the retirement of Chief Justice Anin Yeboah and the swearing into office today of Chief Justice Gertrude Araba Essaba Torkornoo. I observed during her vetting that the majority of justices of the Supreme Court, including her predecessor, were present in Parliament to lend their support to her appearance before the Appointments Committee. This was an admirable gesture, and I'm hopeful that this same level of support will be forthcoming as she assumes the mantle of head of the judiciary. To her colleagues on the bench and to members of the bar, I urge your continued solidarity and cooperation with the new Chief Justice to promote the rule of law. That will be in line with the finest traditions of the bench and the bar and will help advance the welfare of our people. The institutions tasked by Article 144, Clause 1 of the Constitution to assist the President in the appointment of a Chief Justice perform their duties diligently. The Council of State, which continues to handle assiduously all matters brought before it, carried out its consultative function effectively. Likewise, Parliament effected expeditiously, on a commendable bipartisan basis, its constitutional mandate of approving the President's nominee, enabling this investiture ceremony to be conducted within 6 weeks of the nomination. Cooperation between the 3 arms of government, executive, legislature, judiciary, on the accomplishment of this sensitive appointment enhances public trust in the ordering of the state and the functioning of our democracy. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it is essential for the development of our nation that the judiciary commands the respect of the population by the quality of justice delivery and by the comportment and conduct of its judges. It is crucial that we have judges who are morally upright, with intellectual integrity and a thorough understanding of the law. The choice of Mrs. Justice Gertrude Torkornoo as the 15th Chief Justice was not a particularly difficult one to make, in view of her level of qualification, the number of years served with distinction on the bench in the Superior Court of Judicature, totaling 19 years, initially in the High Court, then at the Court of Appeal, and finally at the Supreme Court, and the considerable experience garnered as a result. Indeed, the Council of State, conveying to me by hand of its highly respected chairperson, Nana Otuosrebo II Drabehine, the successful completion of this consultative process, noted in its advisory letter of 28 April 2023 that members of the Council, quote, who have known the nominee in both her private and public life, vouched for her discipline, integrity, efficiency, and above all, her God-fearing nature. These are the attributes essential for the position of a Chief Justice, unquote. After graduating from law school, Chief Justice Gertrude Torkornoo worked as a legal practitioner at the well-known Accra-based law firm Messrs. Fuga & Co. After 7 years as an associate, she became a director of the firm, and in 2004 was appointed by the second president of the Fourth Republic, His Excellency John Agyekum Kufuor, my old boss, to the High Court, where she served for 8 years and was given the responsibility for court-assisted mediation and negotiation in pre-trial settlement conferences. In October 2012, she was appointed by the fourth President of the Fourth Republic, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, as a Justice of the Court of Appeal, a position she held for 7 years. I had the honor on 17 December 2019 to appoint her to the Supreme Court. All 3 living presidents of the Republic have each had a hand in her judicial advancement. She has served as Vice Chair of the E-Justice Oversight and Implementation Committee, member of the Faculty and Governing Board of the Judicial Training Institute, Vice Chair of the Internship and Clerkship Committee of the Judiciary, Supervising Judge of the Commercial Division of the High Court, Member and Chair of the E-Judgment Committee, Member and Chair of the Publications and Editorial Committee of the Association of Magistrates and Judges of Ghana, and Member and Chair of various ad hoc committees needed for the smooth administration of the work of the Judicial Service. She has also been a member of the Law Reform Commission since 2016. She has clearly a full grasp of the intricacies of judicial administration. I have no doubt that Chief Justice Gertrude Torkornoo will be an effective leader of the judiciary, zealously defend its independence, constantly uphold its dignity, and be a worthy successor to Chief Justice Anin Yeboah. I'm expectant that her tenure as Chief Justice will also be marked by order, fairness, diligence, deep-seated respect for the rule of law, and continuation of the modernization of judicial functions and the expansion of infrastructure. The judiciary has the heavy burden of being the bulwark for the defense of the liberties and rights of our people, a burden that is best executed where it enjoys their unalloyed respect. As I have had occasion to remark on several occasions, it is unacceptable for judges to pronounce judgments based on decisions of lower courts and cite them as law. It is even less acceptable when judges issue orders without providing any justification. Judges must be knowledgeable, familiar with case law, and committed to making well-informed decisions. That is the only way the rule of precedent, the principle of stare decisis, which has been the bedrock for the centuries-old evolution of the common law, can operate, as it, quote, promotes the even-handed, predictable, and consistent development of legal principles, fosters reliance on judicial decisions, and contributes to the actual and perceived integrity of the judicial process, unquote. I want to assure Chief Justice Gertrude Torkornoo that just as I did with her predecessor, I will be a dependable and trustworthy partner of the judiciary so that the executive and the judiciary can work together in a spirit of mutual respect to consolidate the tenets of good governance for the benefit of the Ghanaian people. This appointment of a new Chief Justice is taking place at a time when our nation is attempting to chart a path out of the difficulties in which she finds herself, difficulties emanating largely from global developments over which, unhappily, we have had no control. The collective duty is thus imposed on all of us, whether from the public sector, security services, private sector, political parties, civil society, religious bodies, or traditional authorities, to work together with our different views and different perspectives for the Ghana project, the progress of a united Ghana, governed under God according to the rule of law, respect for individual liberties, human rights, and the principles of democratic accountability, in a state structure that is anchored on the separation of powers, and in which all Ghanaians, irrespective of their ethnic, gender, religious, or regional affiliations, share the same opportunities. A Ghana that meets fundamental requirements of social justice and solidarity. In order to realize the aspirations of freedom, justice, and prosperity that inspired the great patriots who fought for the liberation of our country from the shackles of colonialism and imperialism, we have all to dedicate ourselves to this collective endeavor in unity and honesty. I, for one, have unwavering faith in the limitless potential of Ghana's future and will make every effort to bring about the radiance of the Black Star. I'm confident that Chief Justice Gertrude Torkornoo will play an important role in this undertaking. I congratulate her warmly on her appointment, and I wish her the best of luck and Godspeed in the discharge of the duties of her high office. May God bless Chief Justice Gertrude Araba Essaba Torkornoo, the members of the judiciary, and us all, and may God bless our homeland Ghana and make her great and strong. I thank you for your attention.